What is good, y'all? It is Anime K here, and we are back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about season 2 of Blue Lock, and specifically we're going to be talking about the animations, because a lot of people haven't been very happy with how the animation has looked during this season. Now I'm going to give my opinion on it, we're going to do some comparisons, and then at the end of the video I'll give my final opinion on it. But guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and let's get into it. Now, when I initially watched the first couple episodes of Blue Lock, I will say I did enjoy it. I think they were very good, but there was one thing that was bugging me, and it was at certain points when they would be on the counter attack or they'd be running, the animation just didn't look the best. Now, it didn't happen all the time, it just happened on certain moments during certain transition times where they would be passing the ball, or again they'd be on the counter attack, or they'd be running for a ball, and the animation just didn't look the best. Now, I will say initially it didn't annoy me to the point where I wanted to stop the episode. Now, it is annoying when you go back and look at it, right? And it is kind of annoying in the moment. You would hope an anime like Blue Lock would have better animations, because the anime's got so much hype. People were so excited for season 2. I mean, when I posted a video about it on my TikTok, which, you know, you guys should go follow that, right? People were constantly asking when season 2 was. People were excited for the Nagi movie, right? Which I've not actually watched that yet. You guys can let me know how the animations are in the Nagi movie, but I didn't hear too much about the Nagi movie, or I didn't see too much complaints. But you would hope an anime like Blue Lock would have better animations, and you know what, I will agree with people. I feel like they do need to step it up a little bit, because you could be potentially hurting the anime in the long run of where it could possibly stand, in my opinion. Maybe that's over dramatic, but I don't know. But guys, let's move on. Now, what I've done now is I've compared Blue Lock to 2 other football animes. I watched highlights from 2 of these animes, right, just to kind of see the best parts and compare the animations, right? And I just wanted to do that before I give my final opinion. Now, the 2 animes that I compared it to were Inazuma 11, because I saw a lot of people talking about Inazuma and saying that Inazuma is way better in terms of the animations, possibly the show as well, but people were saying, oh, Inazuma was way better than this, Inazuma is better than Blue Lock. So I heard that a lot, and I also wanted to add Aoashi in there as well, because Aoashi is another fairly big football anime. I wouldn't say it's as big as Blue Lock and Inazuma, but it's still very big. Now, I may be wrong about that, but I hear more people talking about Inazuma and Blue Lock, right? And Inazuma came out years ago, and obviously Blue Lock's fresh right now, so that's obviously the reason why. And Aoashi, I just don't think it's as popular. But anyway, that's not the main point here. The main point is I'm going to be comparing both of those animes, and then after that I'll give my final opinion. Now, with Inazuma, first of all, I would recommend people to go watch it, because it was really good. It was great seeing the animations. The transitions were really good as well. Getting to see Axel do his fire shot, or dragon shot, I think it's called. No, it's not dragon shot, it's the tornado shot, right? Sorry guys, the tornado shot, right, was really good to see. Now, I will say, if you do look at the animations, Inazuma was made a long time ago, right? So you have to remember, in terms of like how it looks, it won't look the best. It won't look like a Blue Lock, but actually watching it, I don't know if it's just me, but when you watch it, it doesn't have those same problems. Now, again, they probably didn't have to focus so much on how it looks, but you're telling me in this day and age, you can't find a better studio to animate your anime. You get what I'm saying, guys? Like, I don't know. Again, I don't want to say it's easy, because again, it does cost a lot of money to animate these episodes. But again, back to Inazuma. When I was watching Inazuma, yes, while the anime doesn't look the best in terms of a Demon Slayer or these new animes, right, it's still very good to watch. It was very good watching the football, and seeing the shots again were really good. I definitely think if there was ever an anime to redo and kind of reanimate, I think Inazuma is definitely the one. I never actually grew up watching Inazuma in terms of the anime. I more played it on DS, which if anyone played it on DS, please comment down below, because wow, I need to ask you some questions about how to find one of the games, right? But I do think Inazuma is one of those animes where if there's an anime to be redone and animated again, Inazuma is definitely one of them, because I would love to see it in the new animation style. Maybe it would ruin it, maybe it wouldn't, but I do think Inazuma is a fair comparison to Blue Lock in terms of the shots, because if you see with Isagi's shots, the shots are very emphasized. They have names for the shots, stuff like that. Now, Inazuma is very much to the extreme, which is still good, but Inazuma is more to the extreme. So I guess in some ways it is hard to compare these animes, just because the animation and Inazuma is a bit more extreme with the shots. But I do think it is a fair comparison, and when you look at Inazuma, it does a better job in transitions. But again, I will say the animations are different, right? The animations are older. But after watching Inazuma, I will say it does flow better. But again, I'm very hesitant, because with these animations, right, I do understand that when you're focusing heavily on animation, sometimes the rest of it may not look the best. So I don't know whether to overly criticize it or not. But I will say Inazuma, it does look like it flows better. And when you see stuff like the shots, they do look cooler, right? Obviously, you see a JJK and you see how they got the good animations, but you're seeing it was at the detriment of the workers. I'm not saying if Blue Lock stepped up the animations even a little bit, it would be like that, because I'm sure Blue Lock can step it up a little bit without really hurting their workers. But I just want to point that out, right? I just want to point that out. But anyway, let's move on to Aoashi. Now guys, this one's kind of quick, because you know, when I watched Aoashi, I really don't think their animation style is something where I would compare to Blue Lock. And the reason why I say that is because I think Aoashi's animation style just fits the anime perfectly. Because if you see with Aoashi's anime style, it focuses more on the passes, and every pass is important. Now, of course, the passes are important in Inazuma and Blue Lock, but I mean, like, Aoashi's main focus is team ball. The main character needs to improve in team ball, so that's what it's mostly focused on. So again, I think with Aoashi, I feel like the animation style just really fits the anime perfectly. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you guys will say you don't know what I'm talking about, or maybe you'll agree, but I feel like it fits it perfectly. And I don't think Aoashi is a really good example to use for Blue Lock. I think I figured that out after reviewing it, but I still wanted to put it in the video anyway, because maybe you guys will agree or disagree with that. But yeah, I think the animation style for Aoashi is perfect. So now I just want to move on to my final opinion. Now, to give my final opinion, I will say that it does need improving, and I will admit that initially I guess it didn't bother me as much, or well, not initially, I will say it just doesn't bother me as much as other people. I have watched a couple of videos and people have been like, oh my god, it's just terrible. And again, it does need improving, but it just doesn't bother me that much. I'm more invested in the story anyway, right? I do love the action of it, don't get me wrong, I love the different passes, and I will admit it does need to be improved, so please don't misinterpret my words, guys, but I guess it just doesn't bother me as much. But I will say, when it comes to those bigger games, when it comes to those under 20s games that we're probably going to get to soon, probably in the season, right, I do think the animations needs to be better, because I feel like when you look at the big matches, right, in Azuma, if you look at Raymond versus Royal Academy, if you look at Raymond versus I'm trying to remember some of the teams' names. It's been so long since I played the game. But even that, I think that God High School, I think it was called, or something like that, where it was like something to do with that, right? Something to do with gods and aliens, right? Inazuma's crazy. But my main point is, when you got to those big games, right, most of the time, or nearly every time, they turned up for those games. The animations turned up, the play turned up, and there's some of the games that you remember. So again, I do agree with people, when it gets to the under 20s match, they do need to improve it. And some people were even saying that they're probably waiting to the under 20s match to improve the animations. I hope that's the case, right? I do hope in the under 20s match the animations go sick, but I don't know if it will be, right? But I do think, especially for those big games, you need sick animations. But guys, let me know your opinion on Blue Lock. Will you still be watching season 2 of Blue Lock, or have you dropped it because you just can't take the animations, or are you carrying on? Or do you feel like I do, where it kind of bugs you, but it doesn't really bother you too much? But guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Obviously, give your opinions down below, and I'm out. Peace. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video.